Good evening, everyone. Today, we like to talk about how we can do return over here. So I'm not just with the headline, So we already talked about how to borrow. So the return the debt is called repay. So over here, you're going to use the token address, which token you want to return, the amount you want to return, and then from where you're going to pull the token from. And it's also a permission function, only Blueprint Law can do it. Turns out this function is actually a wrapper of another function called add token to strategy. So they share the same function with add rewards. So add rewards or repay are very much the same, except over here you use a flag true or false. So false means you repay, true means you are going to add rewards. So they use the same function here. It's much easier than we thought. So let's take a look how that's actually done. Okay. As we said, this is a federated bank, so they don't return to a specific vault. They might return to all kinds of vault over here. Let's take a look at how that's done. First of all, they are going to look at how much borrowed debt they have for this particular token. And that's actually done by go through all the vaults, and for each vault, you're going to check the protect strategy because that's only protect strategy you can borrow, and then you're going to count how many protected strategy for this particular token, and then how many of them actually own a debt. So you're going to add the debt over here as a total debt. So the return date structure have the number of protection strategy as well as the total borrowed debt. This if the number of protected strategy is 0, then you cannot do it. So this added token only work when you have at least one protection strategy. And then we are going to iterate through all the values over here. So in particular, we look at the protection strategy of vault I. If it doesn't exist, then we continue. Otherwise, we are going to remember the last protection strategy that we work on, which is the current one right now, and then we get a debt. All right, and so we're going to calculate how much we're going to send to this particular protection strategy. So in other words, when you return, let me open this. I think it's helpful to look at the diagram. So in other words, when we trying to repay the Sun token back to the clean router, the clean router will look at all the protection strategy and then distribute the return funding towards different protection strategy. So it's going to be a distribution. So the question is how much we need to send to each protection strategy, and that's calculated right here based on if you have a total debt or not. Okay, suppose the total debt is suppose we have a total debt. Okay, in that case, it's going to be decided based on this. It's going to be decided that so this is the amount is going to be sent to that particular protection strategy. Okay, and else it's going to be just evenly distributed to each protection strategy if there's no doubt. So there are two cases: either evenly distributed among all the protection strategies, or it's proportionally based on how much debt each protection strategy owns. So that simply means the if there's no debt for protection strategy in the case one, then those without a debt will not be having any strategy at all. Okay, having any funding at all, and then the total send will be accumulated. So we know in this way we know finally we will talk about that. So then you send this amount to that strategy, and then based on it's a reward or there's no debt for this guy, then we're going to emit reward added. Okay. I don't know why you still need to add this one because if straight borrow debt is zero, then actually this is going to be zero as well. So looks like no reward is going to be set. And then otherwise, we're going to compare if we still have any remainder. Uh, I'm sorry. We are gonna decide if the amount to be sent is greater than strategy borrow debt or not. If it's greater than this, then we are going to update the borrow debt. Basically, we need to show that this debt needs to be debited. Okay, so that means the debt for this protection strategy will become zero. Otherwise, if the amount sent is smaller than the debt, then you choose the deduct this one. Okay. And the final step is simply send the dust because we might have some because of division, we might have some rounding error. So we just send the dust to the last protection strategy. So the only thing we need to look at is how the updated borrow debt is done over here. It's simply make sure the input is going to be smaller than this one, and then just do a debit over here. So this is just a double check. Right. So that's very much for return, I guess. So thank you so much. Have a nice day.